If you're creating content consistently, showing up online, building visibility and growing your audience, but you're still wondering where the actual conversations are, then this video is for you. Because one of the biggest misconceptions in online business is the idea that visibility automatically creates sales. Let's be honest, we hear it constantly. Be more visible, post more, show up consistently, create more content. And whilst visibility absolutely matters, there's something important that is getting missed out of the conversation. Visibility is not the same thing as connection, and connection is not the same thing as trust, and trust is not the same thing as a buying decision. Those are completely different stages of a relationship. The problem is that many business owners stop measuring after visibility. They see more impressions, more reach, more views, more followers, and they assume that sales are naturally going to follow. But that's not always the way it happens. Think about your own behavior online. How many people do you follow whose content you genuinely enjoy? How many business owners do you regularly watch? How many podcasts do you listen to? How many newsletters do you actually open? Now ask yourself another question. How many of those people have you actually bought from? And that number, I'm pretty sure, will be considerably smaller. Not because they're doing anything wrong, you like their content. But visibility alone doesn't create action. There are lots of reasons people consume content without buying. Sometimes they're not ready. Sometimes the timing isn't right. Sometimes they don't fully understand the offer that you have. Sometimes they don't know what happens next. Sometimes they enjoy the content, but don't recognize themselves as the person it's designed for. And that's why visibility can be misleading. You can look busy, successful, have growing numbers, and still feel confused about where the opportunities are coming from. Now, what I've found is that businesses creating the strongest results are not necessarily the most visible channels out there. They're the cleanest and the clearest. They make it very easy for people to understand who they help, what problem they solve, what outcome they create, and how somebody can take the next step. Clarity creates movement. Confusion creates spectators. And I think many business owners accidentally create spectators. Their audience enjoys the content. They agree with what you're saying. They engage with the content, but never actually take action because nobody's built the bridge between the content and the offer. The audience understands the problem, but not the solution. Or they understand the solution, but not how to access it. Or they understand both, but don't know whether it's relevant for them. And that's where meaningful conversations become so important because sales rarely begin with visibility. They usually begin with conversation. A conversation creates context. A conversation creates trust. It creates understanding. A conversation allows somebody to ask questions and explore whether what you're offering is the right fit for them. Without that, visibility remains exactly that. Visibility and nothing more. This is one of the reasons I spend so much time talking about better fit conversations rather than pure visibility, because being visible to everybody isn't necessarily useful. Being visible to the right people, we're having a very different conversation. And that's one of the reasons why we created Connection Scout. You see, Connection Scout isn't designed to help you become famous or go viral on, any of your social media platforms. It's not designed to chase vanity metrics. It's not interested in that. It's designed to help business owners identify better fit opportunities that lead to better fit conversations. People who are actually relevant to you and your offer right now. people who genuinely need the thing that you have to offer, people who are worth building relationships with. Because most business owners don't need thousands more impressions, they need a handful of meaningful conversations. And they're very different goals. One is attention, the other is opportunity. That distinction matters, particularly in a world where we're constantly encouraged to focus on numbers, more followers, more reach, more engagement, more views. Those things aren't bad, but they're only valuable if they ultimately lead somewhere, if they create relationships, if they create trust and opportunities. But if they don't, it may be worth asking a different question. So instead of saying, how do I get more visibility? Think about, how do I create more meaningful conversations? Because that's often where growth actually begins. So if you're creating content consistently, building visibility, and wondering why it isn't translating into conversations, send me the word SCOUT. I'll show you exactly how Connection Scout works, what it costs, who it's designed for, and whether it could help you and your business. If this topic interests you, I have a full series on calm AI systems for business, and you'll be able to watch the next video in the series here. It'll be coming up in just a moment.